friends, welcome to my channel. If this is your first time visiting, I am so happy you're here. My name is Tina Zink. I am an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up! And I live in Nova Scotia, Canada. And to all of my friends returning, welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to demonstrate a fun fold card that was inspired by a card created by Terry Gaines, who is also a demonstrator in the States. And I featured this card during my mystery stamping hour yesterday, and everybody loved it, and I'm sure that you are going to love it too. I can't wait to share it with you, so let's start stamping. So for today's card, I am going to be using Designer Series paper. This is from our Butterfly Bijou Designer Series paper pack, which is part of our new Butterfly Brilliance collection. I am absolutely so in love with this paper, so I'll just show you. We have dies that coordinate. I have my die kind of sort of handy. Here we go. So this die right here actually fits right over those butterflies perfectly. And then we also have the stamp set, and the stamp set's all one piece, and so of course this fits on top of that as well. And then there's all kinds of other dies that go along with this collection as well. So I have been using this a ton, but I really want to play with this paper because this is only available until the end of this month or while supplies last. And I know I'm gonna need some more because I'm absolutely smitten with it. So this is the paper I'm using on today's card. So you need to pick a piece of Designer Series paper. And then we're going to pick cardstock to match, of course. I'm just going to show you the reverse sides of this. Isn't that pretty? Look at those gorgeous, like, watercolor wash. So nice. The hard part is picking which design to put on the card. So I keep this out because I think I'm going to use that on the card. And oh, I almost hate to cut into this, especially when it coordinates with the dies, and look how pretty that is. Oh my gosh, so many decisions. You know what, I have a piece already left over from another project, so I'm gonna go ahead and use that piece on my card. Now I have actually decided to use Poppy Parade, and while I know there's no Poppy Parade in this pattern, there is on this butterfly, and I know I want to use this butterfly on my card, so it's going to pull it together with that. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is cut my cardstock, and the base of this card is actually 5.5 by 7.5, so I'm going to line it up at the 5.5 mark and cut it at 7.5. And along the 7.5 side, what you want to do is you want to line it up at 3.25 and score it. Okay, so this is going to be the front flap, and then this still measures 5.5 by 4.25, which is the same size as our standard size cards. Now I want to cut my paper, my Designer Series paper, to measure 3 by 5.25. So you want to keep in mind the pattern of your design. So my card is going to be going portrait style, so I want my butterflies going that way. So I wouldn't want to cut them, so it's going that way, right? So you want to keep that in mind when you are cutting your paper. So I'm just gonna cut that down at 3 and 5.25. And I'm just gonna use my liquid glue to put this onto my card front. This card comes together really fast, so if you needed to make a few or you just felt like making a bunch in an afternoon, this is a great card design. Okay, so there's the front flap. Next, I have a piece of basic white cardstock, and this measures 4 by 5.25, and I want to emboss just 1 inch in on the edge. Now these are the embossing folders I'm going to be using. They come together, they're called Meadow Moments. This one has the leaves, and this one has the leaves and flowers, but it also has butterflies. So it is perfect to use with this beautiful Butterfly Brilliance collection. So I'm just going to put my cardstock in about 1 inch. And run that through my machine. And when I open it, I now have my beautiful butterfly edge. So I'm going to take my glue again. I'm going to put this on the inside of my card with that embossed edge to the right. And I actually should have paid a little bit of attention when I was putting my paper in, because my butterflies, a couple of them look like they're flying down instead of up, but that's all right. So the cool thing is when this card is closed, you're going to see that beautiful embossed edge, but then you have your smooth section for stamping and writing your sentiment. So now it's just time to decorate the front. So what I'm doing here first is I want to die cut the butterflies. So I'm just lining this up. And I'm going to run it through. Look at that. I'm going to have tons of butterflies in no time. Now I have all my beautiful, beautiful butterflies. Gotta love it. So now I'm just positioning my butterflies so I can see where I want them, which will also help me figure out where I'm going to put my sentiment. So right now I'm kind of leaning towards having my butterflies like this and then having my sentiment here. So for the stamp set on this card, I have chosen Peaceful Moments. This is a great set because it covers a lot of different occasions, and I'm going to make this a birthday card. So I'm going to stamp the happy birthday for the front of the card. And I've also decided I'm going to use my markers for the sentiments. And I've brought in Poppy Parade, which of course is the card base. I've brought in the Mango Medley, which is the color in the butterfly, and the Bermuda Bay, which of course we have Bermuda Bay on the background. So look at that color combination, by the way. Isn't that fabulous? So these are just our regular Stampin' Write markers. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the lightest of the three colors and just go right in the middle. And then I'm going to take my Bermuda Bay and I'm going to go from the top down into the yellow, the mango. And then I'm going to take my Poppy Parade and do the same thing, but work from the opposite end, the bottom of the birthday, and work my way into the middle. And then I'm just going to stamp down. And then look, I have all three colors. Isn't that fun? So now I'm going to do pretty much the same thing, but since there's 3 lines on the sentiment, each line is going to be done in a different color. So, but I'm going to do it the same way. I'm going to do the Mango Medley in the center, and then Bermuda Bay on the top and Poppy Parade on the bottom. Sometimes when you're using your markers on a stamp, the ink will dry before you've finished inking the whole stamp. So all you're going to do in that case is you're going to lightly huff on it, and then the moisture from your breath will re-moisten any ink that may have dried. There we go. So I'm going to huff on that and stamp it down. Ta-da! I love our markers. They make it so easy to really customize your stamping and get the colors that you want. So now I need to cut these out with either a punch or a die. Okay, so I have decided to use our new double oval punch. So I'm just going to cut this out here because I don't want to accidentally punch this piece here when I punch this one out, because I'm going to punch it out on a smaller oval and it fits in there beautifully. Just gonna push it up a little bit. There we go. And then I'm going to punch out a piece of the Poppy Parade. And then look how that just centers on there so nicely. This on with a Stampin' Dimensional, but I'm going to put the dimensional only on the left side because otherwise this is going to stick on the edge over here and you don't want that. So I'm just going to put one dimensional on the left side here. I'm just gonna put that right about here. I can maybe stick a second dimensional under there, right on the edge. There we go. And now I'm gonna add my butterflies. I'm gonna bring those in. So I'm gonna use a glue dot for this one. I'm just gonna pick that up. And I'm gonna put that right here. You wanna be careful because of course you don't want those wings to come up past your edges too much. Otherwise it's not gonna fit in your envelope very well. Stick another glue dot underneath. There we go. I like to play with the wings, give them some dimension. Do that here. Now this one, I think I'm gonna put a dimensional behind this little guy. And I'm gonna put this butterfly, I'm gonna let that overlap a little bit onto that side. Isn't that pretty? I wonder if we need a third. I think a third would be too much. Yes, I think so. So now I'm going to open this up so we can put the sentiment inside. So I actually used my layering oval dies to cut these pieces out. So I'm going to glue this on. And of course I could have just stamped directly onto that basic white, but I wanted to do this. Again, I'm being careful not to put it too far to the right because when you close the flap, you'd see it. So you want to make sure it's over to the left. You want to make sure it's on that flat side. So I've decided I am going to put another butterfly on the inside of the card. Okay, and I am going to add a ribbon bow. Now this is our bumblebee gingham ribbon. So even though there's not bumblebee in there, like look at it, that totally coordinates. I've been using this ribbon so much because I find it works with all my yellows. The So Saffron, the Daffodil Delight, the bumblebee, they all work. So I'm just going to put that on like that. I'm going to take another glue dot. I'm just going to put it underneath this because I want this to stay in place. I'm just going to push that down. I'm going to take another glue dot. I love my glue dots. I love my take your pick tool. They're so great. So I'm just going to put this glue dot right on the edge of that scallop oval and then push those down into that glue dot. So everything's going to stay exactly where I want it to stay. And now to finish the card, I need some rhinestones without the cat fur because my cat Forrest loves to sit on the desk and watch me craft. There we go. So yeah, sometimes cat fur is not the look I'm going for. And then I'm going to put a little diamond on the little baby butterfly. And there is that fun fold. Isn't that a great fun fold? So easy, but it's so pretty when you can see that embossed edge. And I mean, you could do anything. If you didn't have an embossing folder, use what you have. You can put a strip of Designer Series paper down here. You can do whatever you want. And I think it's a great layout. So simple. Now I'm gonna show you the card that I created during my mystery stamping hour yesterday. So here's the card I made yesterday. Exactly the same template, just different sentiments, different paper, and well, the same Designer Series paper but different pattern. And then I used my Sweetly Stitched dies. And in case you're wondering what my mystery stamping hour is, it is so much fun. It is a time where we get together and stamp for an hour every Friday at 1 p.m. Atlantic. And all you need to do to join us is go over to my Serene Stamper business page on Facebook, and you're going to see a little button to join the group. And that group will take you to my mystery stamping hour with Tina. And what I do is I post steps for creating card designs, fun folds, all different things, and we just have a great time. And at the end of the hour, we all snap a picture of our card and we post it in the comments, so we have lots of great inspiration. So yesterday, because this was the card that I made and this was the design we used, we have all kinds of cards that everybody made using the same layout. So it's a great time. We have an awesome time together and lots of fun. We inspire each other and we just get so many great ideas, and it's a nice way to spend an hour together as well. So I would love for you to join me. Just head on over to my Serene Stamper Facebook page and I will add you to the group. Thank you for watching today's video. I appreciate you as I always do, and please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and I hope you give this card a try at home. I know you're gonna love it. Happy stamping!